given the emotional status of the defendant.
Yeah.
Yeah, just 15.5 years in
All right.
Westville.
All right.
See how you feel. Okay.
Put Mr. Gary back in the lockup.
You know, at 55, I don't know how many more falls it's gonna take. Fucking, I say no. Like my mom, she's almost 80 and she still does not say no, you know? I'm fragile. She usually lift boulders like that, you know? Landscaping her
All right, well,
property.
give me a minute to get caught up here. This is file 251979SM, People versus Daniel Gary. Mr. Gary is here with his lawyer, Mr. Tim George. Mr. George has represented Mr. Gary in the past and has had a good attorney-client relationship with him. This matter was charged with domestic violence and interfering with a crime report for an incident that occurred on August 6th. The matter was set for a pretrial conference, then was actually set for jury trial. The defendant entered a plea to disturbing the peace. That plea was entered on December 10th. The other charges were dismissed. Disturbing the peace is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to...
Pause right here, because this is the first big legal pivot in the case. What started as domestic violence has now been plea bargained down to disturbing the peace. That's not a technicality. That's a strategic downgrade. Legally speaking, this means the court is signaling. We're stepping away from a violent offense framework, but we're watching closely. And here's the tension. Disturbing the peace usually means fines, not jail. So the question becomes, what does a judge do when the charge is minor, but the behavior isn't? Keep that thought, because it's about to matter a lot.
$500. I left in place a no contact provision with Ashley Brown, who was the complainant in this case. Mr. Gary had a previous disturbing the peace that he had been delinquent in his payments. So I adjourned the matter for a couple reasons. I wanted to have a no contact provision remain in place, and I wanted to see whether Mr. Gary continued to pay on his fines and costs.
Yeah, they should be all paid.
Well, I reviewed this morning, you made an October payment, you made a November payment, and you made a December payment. The last payment I saw was December 3rd. There's something more than that. So he was paying on his earlier disturbing the peace. He did spend 2 days in jail in this matter before he was released on a PR bond. I was troubled. Mr. Gary had continued to have contact with Miss Brown, I think, through the period.
This is the moment the courtroom temperature spikes. Judges can forgive a lot, but open defiance of a direct court order? That's judicial kryptonite. From a legal standpoint, this isn't about intent anymore. It's about compliance. Courts run on one simple rule. Orders must be obeyed, even if you disagree, even if it feels unfair. And notice the irony here. The defendant just secured a reduced plea and immediately puts it at risk by doing the one thing he was told not to do. At this point, the judge isn't just deciding punishment. He's deciding control.
Up to the plea. So I entered the plea. Mr. Gary then walked out of the courtroom, went outside and called Miss Brown for a ride. And the bailiff said, "You can't do that," and gave him a bus pass. So I haven't heard anything since, but
that lady officer told her not to come. She was giving me the bus.
Well, true. It was like 1 minute later, you went out and did exactly what I told you not to do. Now, I do know that you suffer from autism. I don't suffer, you deal with it. You've been dealing with it your whole life. And you're on the spectrum. You also have some other mental health issues that you've been trying to address.
Yeah, in jail, you don't get your medication. So, I mean, it's going to be really,
So this was reduced to a disturbing the peace, which is normally a fines and costs circumstance. Mr. George, what would you like me to know?
Thank you, Your Honor. And I know that the court has concerns, and I think the prosecutor had relayed those as well regarding some of the contact that had taken place. I think from Mr. Gary's standpoint, he's concerned that if there was any jail time that was imposed, that he wouldn't have the ability to access his medications that he takes. I think for him, at least in the last few conversations we had, his biggest,
Just a minute, Mr. Gary. We'll give you a chance to speak. You need to.
I think he's focused on trying to get things together as best he possibly can to get out of here, get the house sold, and move on. And maybe that wouldn't be a bad thing to change his scenery. I think if the court were, considering some alternative sentence other than the fines and costs, we would ask for a probation instead of the jail time. That would allow the court to continue supervision. If there were any type of services that the court think that Mr. Gary could engage in, that would help alleviate some of those concerns. Those could be done over the course of that probation. But I think the biggest articulated reason for it would be continued supervision from the court to make sure that any orders of this court would be followed. Thank you.
Ms. Camfield, do we have any updated information from Ms. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor. My office has had continual contact with Ms. Brown on the date of the plea, which confirms the information that we all suspected. He'd been living in the home the entire time this case was pending, having contact with her on a daily basis, including on the day that she authored the victim impact statement to this court. That's extremely concerning to me because that's obviously not done of her own free will or done in a setting where she felt safe to communicate with our officer, the court.
The
first time that-
right now, she's
Daniel,
right here in the building. You can talk to her right now.
I'll give you a chance
She's in
to
the building
speak.
right now.
She's in the building, you
Yeah,
said?
she has to take care of because the paperwork and she got notarized
Alright,
correction doing
so-
right now.
Just a minute. Is she here in the building?
So sure, you have to take care of her so we can get this house sold and get out of it. You'll move on.
Yes.
I think she's at the.
At least a couple hours away, you know?
All right, would we see if we can find her?
Yeah, she's right up there.
Her name is Ashley Brown. She may be at the Register of Deeds. All right, Ms. Camfield.
Thank you, Your Honor. And what's more concerning also is that this isn't the defendant's first contact with the court. It's not as if he hasn't been in trouble before and understands the court's orders. He was on probation for drunk driving in 2016. He had a use of narcotics and an attempted resisting and obstructing in 2019, for which he received 90 days in jail. And then he damaged a traffic device and pled guilty to that in 2023. Now we're here in an incident where, yes, it was resolved with a disturbing the peace, but it was because her phone was grabbed out of her hand and she was headbutted by the defendant, and neighbors were involved in seeing this occur. So in this particular instance, he also was to have no contact. He's violated that the entire time the case is pending, inclusive of the day of the plea when the court specifically instructed him, do not have contact with Ashley Brown. And then you go out and use a.
I get the state calls because she's staying somewhere else. I'm new here.
All right, just a
You know, I
minute.
have nowhere to go. She
Daniel,
had to get gone.
Daniel,
I
I'll give you a
stayed at the house.
chance. I'll give you a chance to
So
speak.
she came over on her free will, you know, she knew better. She
All right,
had, she had. a place
all
to
right,
stay
Daniel,
and I
just
didn't.
wait.
Okay, sorry, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. He just repetitively violated this court's order, specifically after the court
I own
told
the
him not
house.
to, and he went and used the security phone to call the victim.
Yeah, because she took off with
Stop,
it, and
stop.
she owed me $300 for gas, I mean, for
all right.
water bill. And she goes and spends it all with Josh Brown.
Your Honor,
Alright.
so
They come back, yeah,
Clearly.
and with my
Alright.
cell phone,
All right.
it's my cell phone. I was the one with 2 hours without it, them 2 hours, they're counting on my phone.
All right, Daniel,
All right.
calm down.
there is not a
She's right
circumstance
here, she verified that shit.
All right.
in which she is safe, given the emotional status of the defendant.
Yeah.
Yeah, just 15.5 years in
All right.
Westville,
All right.
see how you feel, okay?
Put Mr. Gary back in the lockup.
Yeah, please, I need a break.
Yes. We may give you a break till about Valentine's Day. I want you to go back there and calm
That's your
down.
brother.
And Your Honor, I understand the defendant has mental health diagnoses, but we also have to make sure that the public and Ms. Brown are safe in addition to the defendant not being a risk to himself.
I'd like
I
to
am
hear
gonna
from her.
request a jail sentence.
It's always a problem when we take a plea to a reduced charge and then ask for a maximum sentence on the reduced charge rather than the larger charges. But I don't know what side of the fence Miss Brown is on, so I'd like to hear from her. But he's gonna talk himself into about a 30-day jail sentence. So we'll see if he calms down a little bit, and then we'll wait for her.
There was an impact statement submitted from Ms. Brown requesting jail, Your Honor.
I did review it. All right. Mr. George makes a good point. When he goes to jail, they tend to not give him his medication. And then that causes further issues, but they're doing a better job than they have been in the past. Mr. George, if you'd wait for a minute, we'll see if we can find. All right, Mr. Gary, I put you back there to calm down. To file 251579, People versus Daniel Gary. We did look for Miss Brown. She's not here in the courthouse.
Parking lot. She's in parking lot. Oh, no, at the free store.
Well, they did speak to her by telephone. She is not here. Her position is she thinks that some jail time would be appropriate. And she wants to continue the no contact.
She was happy to hear
That's
from her.
presently in place.
She
All right,
wait
so
for it.
Daniel, can you
Party at the house.
tell me what you want me to know?
Yeah, man, the basement's a party room. She wants jail, but she just told me before we got here about, probation was good. I mean, we got a reliable car. My mom finally co-signed after 4 cars. That's now she can DoorDash. She got a brand new car. And that was the problem anyways. That was the main fight. I mean, her car kept on breaking down, if it was, $700 to what, $1,200 a month.
So your mom-
Also my mom co-signed for it.
Your mom got Ashley a car,
Yeah.
or as of when?
What was it, about a month now. And yes, I mean, so we had to depend on that. I mean, that was the big issue between us because she kept on breaking down. She went through 4 vehicles before my mom co-signed for it.
Buying like $1,000 beaters and it just was not.
And it just kept on
So
breaking
you
down
got
ever
her
since she got out
a
of the center.
decent car?
Yeah, ever since she got out of the center, me and I already had pre-planned to help, change people in places and things, just at least 2 hours away from here, sell a house and move. All we have to do is.
Well, you mentioned that before, that you'd maybe like to move south, and Mr. George.
Or northern Michigan, because she might be close to her kids, that's the only problem. We just don't want the ex-husband Joshua Brown having that opportunity at least 2 hours away to come, because Ashley don't know not to say no. And he stays, and
All right, well,
for 3
so
days, he wants to stay forever.
you mentioned that you discussed this car with her like yesterday?
No, they got like a month ago.
Okay,
Yeah, because my mind just finally had wits end because Ashley was texting.
all right, so she
calling.
got her a car.
Yeah, she
and
got
then-
the color, the color she wanted.
Since I saw you last, have you had contact with Ashley?
No, it's right before here. That's it.
All right, well, how did you know she was gonna be here today?
Well, because her and my mom, they got paperwork, they got to finish up to sell the house, They had an appraisal, the guy come in sometime this afternoon,
All right,
actually.
her name is on the house.
Yeah, it's like a wedding gift, what's about a year now, a little over a year now.
Who put her name on the house?
I
Right
did,
there, my mom owned.
All right, so you put her name on the house because she was in a relationship with Daniel?
right.
We're ready to get married. I mean, we just wait for Joshua Brown to.
It's actually very good for Dan.
2 hours should be good enough.
He needs to appreciate her more, he doesn't. Appreciate her as much as she should.
Yeah, and she loves doing that. She makes like what, $4,000 a month,
I mean, he's
Crazy.
no longer using meth because of
Can't
her.
run through wild business.
Yeah, it was hard sometimes to determine methamphetamine from mental illness.
Right, so when he started
I get
using that,
excited
that's
all-
when it turned his brain to mush or whatever, because prior to that, he was okay. But
All right, again, we've just got voices from the gallery. That's Mr. Gary's mother, who is supportive of him and tried to be supportive of Miss Brown.
Hey, Judge.
Yes.
Because we're getting at this, we're talking about support. What's that, what were we talking about, you remember? Because it had to do with, trying to look out for Ashley to succeed. She needs to change people, place, things, born and raised right here. I mean, I don't know, but, you know, and so I wanted this, there's a place I die, you know, this is my forever home. And she comes into my life and I know that I know. I mean, St. Joseph County probably knows Joshua Brown and everybody that's in between all that bullshit. You know, and I'm all about surprised, I'm, man, but she's the last crutch that she's born and raised here, she knows everybody. And she needs at least, and I agree, at least 2 hours away. I mean, it gives you a double thing to take off 2 hours, you know. And hopefully make the right decision, but you know, it's a help because her kids, Josh and Aubrey, I'm trying to be mentor to Josh. You know, he likes to fight and stuff.
And there it is, the final balancing act. This sentence isn't about revenge, and it's not purely about rehabilitation either. It's about containment. The judge is sending a message: I reduce your charge, but I will not reduce my authority. 10 days may sound small, but legally it accomplishes 3 things. It enforces court orders, creates distance from victim, and reasserts control over a situation that was clearly spiraling. The takeaway? In court, your words matter, but your actions matter more. And here, the action spoke loud enough to land someone in a cell just in time for Christmas.
And for Christmas present, Ashley, I suggested, all I did is we'll go right on for self-defense classes, or, you know, karate, but he chose boxing and Sturgis. So he goes 3 times a week. Ashley got to take him 3 times a week from here to Sturgis.
Who's that, her son?
Yeah, her oldest son, and best Christmas present ever.
All
Is what we
right.
got.
I'm
I was
gonna,
just a suggestion.
I'm gonna do a fine of 0.
But yeah, they give him a mentor and do right. Sorry.
$75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee. I'm gonna waive the attorney fee. This was a assault charge reduced to disturbing the peace. The defendant has continued to have contact with her in violation of my direct order. I'm not gonna be able to stop it. Number 12 days jail credit 2, leaving 10 days to serve. We'll put that other on part of the plan. Mr. Gary, you're going to jail right now. You're gonna get good time. You're gonna get out in about 8 days.
Can we do like weekends there? I mean,
Yeah, there will be some weekends included in there, but you're gonna do it straight. You go with the officer.
and what, just a couple days and
Yeah, so
everything
I'm
will get
gonna
solved.
talk to Lauren at the,
What's that, sir?
I'm gonna talk to Lauren from Pivotal. Make
Okay.
sure you get your medication.
I really
but-
appreciate that. My mom will help you with that.
All right, but you were continuing to violate the condition, and I'm not sure this whole relationship is closely related. It was reduced from a domestic assault to disturbing the peace. He's gonna do 10 days, and I'm not gonna try to supervise this
Ashley's
probation.
at the free store now.
All right, he's obviously having contact, she's having contact. All right, he'll get probably 2 days of good time, so he's gonna be out about 8 days from now, which means he's gonna be in for Christmas. But everybody will have a little peace and quiet.